From the B Plus Effort Studios, this is Call Now.
Call now.
Call now.
Call now. Call now. Call or log on now.
Call now.
Call right now. Call in the next 18 minutes. Call in the next 16 minutes.
Call in the next 7 minutes.
Call or log on now.
Hello and welcome to Call Now, where we plunge headfirst into the surreal world of infomercial. And while we can't offer you free shipping, we can guarantee that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are definitely those of this network. Thank you, Tim. My name is Dan Sturdivant. I am joined, as always, by my co-host on this three-man weave known as Call Now, Mark Pedrati. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Dan. This is going to be a low-pressure evening.
Nice. Very nice. And always, Dave Sandrini. Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I don't understand how it's going to be low pressure, though.
Whether there's pressure or not, we're definitely going to get pounded with flavor, okay? It's feast time. We're infusing our show with the Power Pressure Cooker XL.
The following is a paid presentation for the Power Pressure Cooker XL, brought to you by TriStar. Do you love sitting down to a big Sunday dinner with the entire family? Do you wish you could enjoy the taste of those all-day, slow-cooked, labor-intensive recipes without the time, the work, or the wait? Well, now you can. Introducing the Power Pressure Cooker XL.
The easiest way to describe the Power Pressure Cooker XL is it's an Instant Pot.
Instant Pot is amazingly simple to use.
Questions? Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big Instant Pot, right?
It is very big. 6 quarts worth
Yeah.
of big. Feed an army with it.
Enough corn dogs to feed a small army.
Was there a smaller one? I know this is, what do they call it, the XL?
Nice. Yeah, so this is the larger version.
You can make clam chowder for an army.
There's an original pressure cooker. Then the XL, this is the smallest of the XLs, the 6 quart. They eventually came out with 8 and 10 quart pressure cookers.
You'll feed a small army.
Pretty much just a standard set it and forget it style thing.
Just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real feast or famine. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I want to apologize.
First one, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime there's a bad feast pun, it will be considered an act of feastiality. Okay.
Ooh.
You must be very proud of yourself.
So the product itself being undifferentiated, and Mark, thank you for bringing us to the man himself, the golden boy, the blonde king of the infomercial, Eric Thies.
Now, get ready to meet Eric Thies.
He's a chef and former restaurant owner.
As an acclaimed chef, culinary expert, and former restaurant owner.
Sorry to the Meritage in Westchester, PA, where it closed, but he did meet his wife there, so it wasn't all lost, and he has stayed rooted in the Westchester area, which is where QVC is headquartered. So he's, a regular on QVC. He's a guy who slings a lot of kitchen products, always has. I'm sure he always will. He is a member, or was a member of the TriStar Media family. They're the guys who were behind the XL series of products, including the Power Pressure Cooker, which we are so invested in.
Power Pressure Cooker XL, right?
Today. He's also done some of the classics, which I know we will venture into, the Power Air Fryer XL,
Power Air Fryer XL.
Power Air Fryer Grill XL,
Power XL Air Fryer Grill.
and the Power XL Smokeless Grill.
Power Smokeless Grill.
But I think I first met Eric, I believe, with a Copper Chef infomercial.
Copper Chef.
And I wasn't the only one who was very impressed with his performance, because he actually won the 2016 Electronic Retail Association Moxie Award for Best Male Presenter.
Beautiful career.
You're welcome.
What's Copper Chef, Dan?
Copper Chef is their pans. So they're lined with copper.
Oh, yeah, no, I got you. Yeah.
And they started out as just frying pans, and then, like everything else, they became XLs.
Power XL. Life keeps you busy. We help you excel.
Don't worry, Dave. You'll learn all about the Copper Chef.
Okay, good.
Okay. Yes. Because we got to see that award-winning performance, right? We hand out the Ronnies.
Sure. And Dan, you forgot, I think there's 3 other things you did forget about him. He is a mid-2000s American League West designated hitter. He's got 7 cookbooks. He's 5'10", and he's worth over $10 million.
$10 million.
Westchester money. Nice. He also looks like I don't ever want him to be within 100 yards of my daughter that I don't have.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know what it is.
Court ordered or just by look alone?
Vibe. Who was the guy in Roto Razor? What's his name?
Joe Fowler.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Fowler.
So his,
He's the opposite guy.
I mean, it could have gone either way. Like, you could have picked either of those guys, but I don't know.
I hate this
There's
sauce.
something weird about
Yeah, Joe Fowler feels like classic dad.
I love you, Dad.
Probably too much energy barreling in when you're sitting with your buddies and like sits between two on the couch. Did you guys see that? I can't believe the linebacker can fly into that. You guys need a beer. And it's like,
Look at this. Watch
oh,
this.
thanks, Mr. Fowler. Whoa.
Yeah.
Your dad's nuts.
My daughter is over here.
You're like, yeah, I'm well aware. Like I'm here every day.
If you're in the living room with these, you're like, why am I in a living room with these?
Why isn't the TV on? They have a huge TV. Why don't they turn it on? He's just reading one of his. He's reading one of his cookbooks or
The
the
Power Pressure Cookbook.
canning manual.
The Canning Guide.
It's like, oh, cool. Thanks, Mr. Thies. Do you guys want some snacks? These are amazing.
His voice is crazy.
His chest is going crazy.
Yeah, I saw a great bit on the old internet there that described his voice as someone who learned to speak by only watching SNL's The Californians.
What are you doing here?
I thought I picked up that Pennsylvania twang, but he's from
He's from Jersey.
he's from Jersey, so I
Oh,
guess it could bleed, right? Bleed over.
we got a bleeder. Yeah,
We got a bleeder.
Yeah.
a little bit.
I do see him in that living room when you're all huddled around the TV. We're all eating nice wings and stuff. He pulls out the devil sticks and just starts hitting away. He's
Yeah,
like that. He's
yeah.
that type of guy. He just brings the party to the party with a devil stick.
I don't think you could have picked a better thing for him to start doing in my imagination.
That's fantastic. Well, before we get too far into what we saw, let's just remind ourselves what we're talking about. So the product itself is a power pressure cooker, not too dissimilar from an Instant Pot. Uses heat and pressure to lock in flavor and juices along with state-of-the-art kitchen science
State-of-the-art kitchen science.
to quickly pound flavor into your meats,
Pound the meat with flavor.
vegetables, pastas,
Homemade pasta.
soups, and stews. It also boasts an impressive 6-quart capacity. Later models, as I mentioned, expand up to 10 quarts, which is a shit ton of food.
Feed a small army.
Some of its science include its intelligent one-button controls to set the temp and time, as well as the ability to can things. Guys, the USDA approved it for canning.
The Power Pressure Cooker XL even meets USDA standards for canning.
Except if you read any of the articles about it, they say don't use electric pressure cookers to can. I don't know how they got away with that, but you can just ask Eric. Canning is huge. You don't believe me? Check the internet.
This is big, you guys, because canning is huge. Just take a look on the internet.
And I checked the internet though, and it's not great. The pressure cooker itself generates heat and steam to cook, utilizing temperatures up to 248 degrees Fahrenheit.
Huge.
Oh,
That's 120 Celsius, which is intended to create a more sterile and healthier environment when compared to traditional cooking methods.
Momentum is what makes freeways dangerous sometimes.
And I got that product description from a lawsuit. We'll get to that later. There are only a few key differences. So we talked about the Instant Pot a little bit there, and it comes down to a couple big pieces of functionality. One is that the Instant Pot can be used to make yogurt.
This is a piece of junk, Ron.
I don't want to know how.
You know something? It always amazes me how you can get yogurt out of an
Instant Pot.
I choose not to.
probably pounding.
4 pounds.
Pounding. The PPCXL does not. But
But wait.
the PPCXL can, and the Instant Pot cannot. Thank you. Guys, I'm gonna get it. This is great. We're having a lot of fun. Okay, this is great. So, and also Instant Pots are more expensive and are starting to have more smart features.
That's good.
Because if there's one thing I want is to remotely control a dangerous pressure heating element in my house
Very safe machine.
and hopefully have that hacked.
I don't see any reason why it would
The
be.
power pressure cooker is a little bit less expensive, and you can make enough food to satisfy the appetite of Nate Newton circa 1996.
Nate Newton was described as a little bit overweight, but he wasn't a little bit overweight. He was a lot overweight.
Okay? So I get it. It's not my grandma's pressure cooker,
Unfortunately, Grandma didn't have
The Power Pressure Cooker XL.
but
I'm sorry to say, Graham.
Eric is an amazing sight to behold.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I felt like the host of today's show, Denise Repko,
Denise?
was on a different show half the time.
So it's kind of dummy proof.
I know we'll get to the hungry gentleman known as
Are you serious?
the gorillas in the
To
background.
feed the hungriest gorillas.
But as these things started to pile on as I was going through it, I just kept asking, why?
Religion, greed, money, sex.
But why? Why?
All right, and as always, it's easy to dismiss this stuff as pure trash, but we have to consider the whys of each show, and there are a lot of them here. I don't want to waste too much time on the boring stuff here.
Are you not a
entertained!
There's kind of a lot of it, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Power pressure cooker production-wise, we have a neatly edited and brightly shot
Isn't it life?
classic appliance infomercial that's littered with lots and lots of testimonials.
People just like you.
Overall, the show throws them softly down the middle.
2 and 1 the count.
Definitely plays it a bit safe.
both the blue safety handles.
But like all of these, they cannot help but lean towards the bizarre. Enter the talent, Eric Thies,
Get ready to meet Eric Thies.
who we cannot quite figure out whether he's wholesome or psychopathic, which is another fun trait of our pitchman.
I want to play a game.
What really stings about this one? Well, the purely surreal decision to let the three cowboys enter the infomercial and eat several dinners
Now let's get to the food!
in the background for the duration of the show.
Smells so good in here, I guess the word got out.
There are no or very few inserts of these guys during the production.
That's the best part.
They're literally introduced and then ushered into the background to serve very little purpose.
Eat up, guys. Tell me how good that is.
Guys, without fail, these shows continue to cross this hazel line.
Somebody say muffins?
I'm opening it up to you. Why can't they help themselves?
I've fallen and I can't get
For
up.
one that was so simple
As simple as that.
and so basic,
Now the basic walk
and
set.
so kind of down the middle,
Right to the middle.
with crazy Eric,
Is that crazy good?
they still jump the hazel line
Oh, hazelnuts
and put in
rejoice!
something bizarre like a bunch of fat guys just hang out in the background
Are we early or
of
something?
the entire infomercial. What do you think?
That is awesome.
You know why? Do you see the food that they're making? This is not healthy food here,
Are you
David.
sure?
Oh no. I mean that clam chowder did look amazing. I'm not gonna lie. With the real clams in it, I mean that you don't see that much.
Oh, so
You can make clam chowder for an army.
These are the boys that choke down chili.
Chili.
These are the pasta boys,
And they eat pasta every day.
butter boys,
Bring in your free butter boy pass.
whatever you want to call them, and they're out back just chowing down like a bunch of pigs in the trough. And
You'll love making homemade
every time they kind of make a meal, they got to dump it into a trough, and those boys are back there doing that. So
Nobody eats like that. Nobody.
they need the pigs.
They get put into the back room like they're early 90s special education or something like that. If they're like, don't worry about those guys, they're going to go eat in the back. They don't get introduced.
That is very sneaky.
he should have said, "Don't feed the animals." Don't feed the animals. Just kidding. Here's your tray of ribs.
I got 3 full racks of ribs in
He
there.
definitely did that as a take.
And then they're in like the back corner,
Cut a corner in no time.
which is also weird, you know?
So, do you think that this was a trade-off for not having an audience? They were like, "All right, we didn't need an audience, right?" They're like, "Yeah, we had an audience." And then they started doing. They're like, "Well, we're making all this goddamn food. Like,
You'll feed a small army.
should we have somebody here?" Like, "All right, you 3 grips are getting promoted. Thank you guys for moving everything.
light. Fits in my hand great.
You put on the cowboy hat.
I want to look like that guy.
Your ponytail's perfect.
This is what every guy wants to look like.
And here's a different flannel for you to wear. Go get them, boys. Hope you're hungry. You're not getting a bonus because you're eating whatever Eric makes."
Believe me, it's well worth
Dan,
it.
here's the thing. Yes, you're right about the studio audience. And they were worried about somebody making a podcast about this infomercial years later. So that's kind of why we're here today. But they're like, we're going to waste all this food. They're like, we're used to handing this out little portions to 50 people. But what's better than 50 people is 3 big boys.
Oh, there's some beef boys.
Having a beef boy made.
But why not kids?
Let your kids have fun doing all the
You
decorating.
know what I mean? Why not feeding the kids? Isn't it a feed the kids kind of
You
thing?
would, you would need 65 kids to eat with those 3
Yeah.
monsters consuming a meal.
How about chicken?
Exactly. Plus, there's no chocolate pasta. Like it's
How can chocolate pasta taste
Here, I
good?
figured something out.
My mom didn't recognize me.
It becomes a little bit of old country buffet crowd.
Have you tried the lasagna?
And okay, I'm figuring it out as we go. Like,
Oh, the OC Bay Hive is going to come after us, Dave. Take it easy, okay?
Did you catch a game last night?
going off script. Here it goes.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
We can cross that sponsorship off. Jesus. Dude.
no, we're getting them still.
All right.
We can smooth this over. Okay, it looks more and more like an old country buffet setup
Is it still hot out there?
than I'm realizing. So maybe that is what's going on here. Whereas in my head, I thought it was like, feeding the kids.
Do you think that the 10-quart model is exclusively for buffets?
in a really bad car wreck.
Because that actually makes some sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're only serving 1,000 people who want to die within the hour,
Or a woman.
it's like, just
Yeah.
dump a bunch of shit in.
Dump it
I think I
in.
said that for every food product. Just dump a bunch of shit in.
Dump it in.
Dump it in, dump it in.
whole
Don't
thing.
talk to me, dump
Right.
it in.
And I guess I was thinking about that too, right? With every food product we cover, It's how fast it is.
Wow, that was fast.
It's how easy it is.
It's so easy, a child can do it.
Leads to you're not actually cooking.
You're gonna cook with it?
Because there's some nuance to actually cooking things. And especially the chili was the big example here, where Eric shows his humor chops. I don't know if you caught this. He says, watch how difficult this is.
It's really hard, so pay attention.
And walks Denise through. First you put your meat in. That's on sear with your tomatoes.
So first what I did is I put the meat in.
And then just has the other shit and just dumps it in. She's like, that was easy.
Put my ingredients
Ingredients is
into the pot.
That's not hard at all.
It was, because chili's easy no matter how you do it. It's just what you do.
That's all I do.
You're always just dumping a bunch of shit in
Does that sound great?
and eating less desirable food than you would want.
25-second rosemary turkey meatloaf.
But the added value of the Power Pressure Cooker XL is you also get to eat shittier cuts of meat because of the pressure. So that's nice, right?
I mean, chuck is absolutely one of the least expensive meats you can buy.
Yeah. I'm okay with that one. For a stew, it was kind of weird that he hammered it though.
Well,
You pound it with
they
flavor.
mentioned it like 5 times.
Right.
He was like, "Give me the shittiest meat." It's like, don't say it all the time.
Point, you don't have to celebrate, Frank.
Yeah, right?
You know, like you don't.
Well, people would have handled it differently.
The American inventor.
Because he did. Like when he does the food dehydrator, he talks about it as one of the layers of continual value recognition of the food dehydrator.
First of all, I didn't like additives and preservatives in my
He
food.
talks about it as, you know, eating healthy and also being able to save money with the exorbitant cost of beef jerky.
And you know how darn expensive beef jerky is
The
today.
end product's expensive. He's like, but not only am I doing it myself, I can get myself a chuck roast for $2.99 a pound and blah, 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 and I'm down to 30 cents a pound for my jerky. It's like,
And with the Ronco electric food dehydrator, you can make your homemade beef jerky for just around $3 a pound.
how do you do that? Guy's printing his own money. And he's just like, just buy shittier meat.
I mean, chuck is absolutely one of the least expensive meats you can
Go
buy.
to your butcher. Tell him you want the worst cuts he
We got
has.
to use a chuck roast, but you know, oftentimes the cheaper cuts of meat need a lot of time to
Tell him
cook.
you want to pick up off the floor.
Buying less expensive cuts of meat doesn't mean a cut in
Tell
flavor.
him that you want something that's spoiled and expired that you're going to feed to your kids.
And you get to buy sirloin or pork chops or chuck and flank steaks. All those less expensive cuts
You
of
should have
meat.
just doubled down on horse meat and said,
Orange stew with a horse meat.
even horse meat stew is going to taste good. Like,
Sorry, what you said? Horse meat? Horse meat.
so that's a pretty good selling point. That's a different animal.
Flavor.
Get some old cube steaks.
Yes.
Old ones.
Yeah. Well, not just the cube.
And that was one of the weirder things too that I thought, not to divert too far, but when I'm sure you guys watched it too, was on Tiger King when everything that came off the truck for the meat, they threw it all in the Power Pressure Cooker XL and then fed it to the tigers. I was like, well, that's an interesting spot there. I wonder if these sign up, but it makes now that I've seen the infomercial, it makes a lot of sense. Like, oh, you take dumpster meat, pressure cooker, good, you're all set.
Yeah.
Pound the meat with flavor.
So I also had some questions, Dave, about their interstitials and they were going between segments, right? They had just that bump shot. It was basically like a slow push onto a food product with the graphic over it. And all of them made sense to me. There's like ribs.
The baby back ribs was off the bone, baby.
There's a low country boil.
Make a low country seafood boil for your friends.
All stuff that we saw them make. And then it's either when they come back from the market or back from Strega Kitchen.
My family are Italians.
And it's a plate of fucking nachos, man.
Nachos, anybody?
They snuck nachos in.
They did.
Sloppy nacho
I
pork.
was like, wait, no. You make those.
Yeah, nachos. Those are our favorite.
Nachos, those are my favorite.
So obviously we noticed
For
it.
those of you playing Call Now Bingo, that is a nachos are my favorites. Go ahead and mark that one up and take a drink.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Yeah, I don't know, Dan. I think it's just this one's a little bit off balance. I think I'm trying to figure out the infomercials as a whole on this segment for whatever reason.
can't believe this. I'm telling
And I think that they can be. I think that like they can be off balance and just whacked. And you can kind of bounce around from saying, you know, we're gonna eat salmon sausage
Let's show you how to make fresh salmon sausages.
to we're gonna eat nachos. People go with it because it's just kind of on to the next thing.
It is if you want it to be.
It's Easter eggs. Of course, they put Easter eggs in these things.
Hey, do you think that's these tipping the cap to Mick? Because it got you, pal.
Are you serious?
Could be, yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
like everybody else that does an infomercial
I'm like, wow.
has some sort of nacho. Like, shit, like we can do our own
We
too.
always talk about
Yeah.
that Hazel moment. And for this, as soon as the three gorillas walked in,
somebody say muffins?
Yeah.
and it's kind of cute
This one's mine. You can't have
because
it.
the bit gets set up where Eric asked Denise if she has kids. You have kids, right, Denise? Yeah, I have 3 boys.
Denise, you have kids, right?
I do, 3 boys.
And she has a really weird response to the chicken.
Oh yeah.
How about chicken?
It was they love this kind of chicken.
I
like chicken?
love this kind of chicken.
And then I looked at it, I was like, wait, just chicken? The cooked chicken? I'm like, yeah, of course. We all love this kind of
Love
chicken.
this kind of chicken. It's like, oh yeah, as opposed to raw, 100% every day of the week. Give me that chicken over the raw chicken.
Let's see it.
And there's how about when he's pulling chickens out?
3 whole chickens
And
in
he's
there.
like, there's 3 chickens in here.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
4, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
there's
great.
3 whole
though.
chickens in there. So he pulls all that out. She says she has 3 boys, and then they move over to the ribs.
I got 3 full racks of ribs
And then
in
the
there.
gorillas come
Eat
out,
up, guys.
and she has to stick her joke is, just so you know, those aren't my 3 boys.
For the record, these are not my sons.
Oh, that's great, lady, but who the hell are they?
I'm so surprised those guys didn't like break a vase in the background.
Uh-oh.
I know.
They're incredible.
That was awesome.
There was no glassware and there was no metal utensils on that table.
this table looks like it cost about $1.
It was all plastic.
God, is there a close up on them? Do you guys remember? I think there might be one.
1 or 2, yeah. It's over them on the island.
There's some expensive camera work in this. I know we
Yeah.
talked about it a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
it's not at the original Magic Bullet level.
The Magic Bullet.
It's not at the QRB level of professionalism.
Why are you in a tuxedo?
Dave, real quick, I got to ask you a question. The blocking
And blocking hats.
on some of the other infomercials we saw was like really good, but you could tell it was blocked. That it was lit
One of you mugs got a light.
the same way for each shot.
Back and to the left.
I think they took this in pieces.
You thinking specifically from wide shot of the pitch to the inserts of the food?
Yeah.
That I watch those a lot,
I don't care.
and I kind of do it joyfully.
How is the mood striking you now?
Because even if they are doing that on separate days, which I don't think they are,
Are you kidding me?
it's just funny to me because it works so purely when they do it. I didn't notice anything in particular in this one. I think in the bullet,
Countertop magician?
I scratched my head more on that
From scratch?
because they moved so fast on the bullet.
1, 2, 3 seconds.
They move fast here too, but the inserts were just less clean on this one because it's just meat falling apart.
Fall off the bone.
Yeah, but this stuff does take a lot of time to cook some of this.
No.
stuff. It's 20 minutes and 10 minutes and 20 minutes. Like
Yeah,
it'll add
no,
up.
Mark.
It'll add up. Getting to the final result on some of these things opposed to Magic Bullet.
The ultimate party machine.
Where you just put a cold egg into a pan.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was an undertaking of time.
And as fast as you can say, Bob's your uncle, back is your aunt.
Well, and maybe that factors into, like, maybe it's fatigue because I had some questions and concerns about Denise and her demeanor, some of her responses, and I couldn't tell if it was like an editor kind of fucking with her. But there's a few times where Eric isn't in frame or talking about food. She just goes, "Great, love it."
Oh, I love it.
Nothing was going on. Like, she shouldn't have said that. He talks about beef stroganoff. You go, beef stroganoff. She just goes, "You're not kidding."
How about beef
Oh,
stroganoff?
you're not kidding.
Yeah.
No, like it felt like she was answering different questions. So I was like, did prompter go out? Did her RFB die?
You get 12 different dyes and shapes.
Did she just get through a family tragedy, or was she on day 6 of a 2-day shoot, just being like, what the fuck is going on? Can I go see my fucking family?
For the record, these are not my sons.
I think definitely because we've been seeing that a lot, and then we see QRB, which is like what's the woman's name on QRB?
Dave.
Lynn.
Lynn, who's clearly part of the Amazing Discoveries gang, clearly part of the stable of talent involved. And in some of these, it just clearly feels like we need to hire the pitch hype woman.
Dump it in.
And let's get her in here and let's just put her through the gauntlet of whichever pitch man. And it's less collaborative, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And I think you're probably right. Maybe she's just burned out after like, okay, Eric, I'm just waiting for you to hit your stupid lines.
It's really hard, so pay attention.
So I can say the chicken looks great
3 whole chickens in there.
and these aren't my boys.
For the record, these are not my sons.
Because that's just weird.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I recognize her from infomercials, but she isn't like one of the people that I knew their name without seeing her fonted
I'm Rumpelbill's daughter, Lauren.
or having to look her up.
Look, it's still working.
She's
Look
still
at
on
that.
QVC a good amount, which is, obviously great for her to keep working.
Look at that muscle work.
But she has an old website that I think one of her old managers still owns, and it is wild. It's DeniseRepco.com.
Denise, take a look at what I've just
And
done.
It is dated, to say the least. And maybe Denise can head on over to Squarespace and build her own website by going to squarespace.com/callnow and using promo code callnow at checkout. Receive 20% off her first year of hosting and a free domain name. It's a free domain and first year of hosting 20% off at squarespace.com/callnow. But back to the current iteration of DeniseRepko.com. You know, it gives some of the stats that she's been a model, an actress, a spokesperson, a fitness expert,
Trainer to the trainer.
and a voiceover talent for over 16 years at the time that her website stopped being updated. But I was really confused, and I spent a lot of time on this website over the last couple of days, and I have a very strong suspicion that I'm the only person who can say that in the last 7 years.
I don't care.
Are we gonna go back to them during the Ronnies, or can I let a little
Let a little pressure out.
little air out right here? Yeah, exactly.
Found a little more pressure.
You pound it with
There
flavor.
was one weird part.
One?
It was towards the end. Well, one interaction that really took me off guard. She says, "Incredible, baby."
Incredible, baby. Incredible.
Yes.
To him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And before you were like, "Oh yeah," like at the beginning of this, you're like, "Oh, he's married," and this. I was gonna ask you guys, and are they together? Like, what was up with that? Because if they are,
Oh, I love it.
listen to this. I think you call him Daniel Tice.
Rejected by
Jonas Jerebko.
Jerebko at one from midcourt. He had a good look at it.
I think that's who they would be, like, as a couple. So
Pound the meat with flavor.
You're not kidding.
So the other cute bits that she did. So I talked about the chili one. It was, ha ha ha, that's not hard at all.
That's not hard at all.
What you just said, incredible, baby.
Incredible, baby. Incredible.
Whoa. That was coming right off of while she was eating a meatball. And right before that, she did a shit Italian accent. She goes, meet the ball.
That's a lot of meat the ball.
That is a lot of meatballs.
I love that.
Gourlami.
She did the line when the wings going up front. Wait, those are frozen. She really acted that one. I was proud of her for that.
But these are frozen though.
When the 5 lobsters are coming out, she goes, oh, my favorite.
Oh, my favorite.
Nachos, those are my favorites.
And then Eric makes her count the goddamn lobsters. 1, 2, 2.
How many's out? 1.
1, 2,
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
3.
Here we go. 4. 5. Yes. I got
crazy.
5.
Their best bit was, Asa what? Asabuco.
And this is called Asa what?
Asabuco.
What's the matter with you?
What are you doing here?
I'm fine today.
I'm fine today.
she does it twice.
Yeah. She does it during the original Asabuco bit and then in her read at the
And
end.
what was that?
Asabuco.
Asabuco.
We will revisit before the end of this show.
That's incredible.
All right. Anything else we want to throw in? Or are we good to head to the Ronaldos?
That's good.
It's no secret that infomercials love to claim that the products they're pitching are award-winning, but let's not forget that they wouldn't have any of those fake awards without the hard work of the real stars of these infomercials. And that's why each week we hand out the Ronnies, our acknowledgement of the greatest moments and performances in these informative and supposedly objective works of art. Named in honor of the godfather and patron saint of TV pitchmen, Ron Popeil. Our first Ronnie category, as always, best value proposition of the Power Pressure Cooker XL. The nominees are speed.
So fast.
Cook things fast. You know, they say 80% faster.
That you can cook meats 80% fast.
Okay, good for them. Capacity.
Feed a small army.
We talked about feeding gorillas.
To feed the hungriest
We
gorillas.
talked about what was the scientific term I had? Shitload of food. It's a lot. A lot goes in there. 6 quarts is, I'm going to say, too much.
Incredible 6-quart capacity.
The ability to save money. So you can't make money with this like you can with QRB, but you can save money by buying shit meat to feed your family.
I mean, chuck is absolutely one of the least expensive meats you can buy.
The simplicity of it being a 1-button device.
The amazing push-button kitchen mirror.
Kind of.
It's so easy, a child can do it.
Or the fact that you can with the can. You can can with it. I mean, kind of.
This is big, you guys, because canning is huge. Just take a look on the internet.
Again, don't do it. But they say you can. So to me, that's a value proposition, not value. Mark, you got a pensive look on your face.
I want to look like that guy.
I feel like we got to hit the pressure valve for you, let a little steam out. Go ahead. You go
It
ahead.
has all to do with time.
Fraction of the time.
Saving time.
So it's not just a time saver.
Not only is it time, it cooks say, a piece of meat quicker than you could do it on a stovetop or in an oven.
10 times faster.
You do everything in this one thing. So it's great for stews. It's great for pastas, macaroni and cheeses, and
mac and cheese,
chicken dishes.
How about chicken?
All that stuff. So it has to be time.
And something that's fairly fast.
Though I do disagree, that isn't how you should cook everything all at once. The value is there. The time.
Fraction of the time.
The devalue of it is, that's not how you should cook. But.
Yeah, and like not just the speed part of it.
You can cook things really
fast. I think so. Maybe the part I want to talk about is related to simplicity. The weirdest villain of the infomercial was boiling water. I was like, boiling water is not difficult
because you don't have to boil the water.
I don't understand why you're going after boiling water. Like, I get the cost of I mean, you can just boil some water. To me, it's not difficult. I may be missing something.
It's in its own sauce without having to boil water.
You mentioned the mac and cheese. So again, it's like, oh, you cook it in its own sauce. That mac and cheese look like shit.
That's mac and cheese made with
you
love.
make homemade, you gotta bake it, right? Like, you don't just do a mush mac and cheese if you're making it from scratch.
Mac and cheese.
I also didn't like how he tried to make it seem like you needed the pressure cooker to not use processed cheese.
Because we didn't use processed cheese, we got to use real cheese.
You're going through the effort of making homemade macaroni and cheese, you're gonna use real cheese, right? You're gonna put fucking Velveeta in there, are you? Do people do that? Like people know about Velveeta, right? The word got out.
It looks radioactive.
I wanted to say canning. I love the line that canning is huge. Check the internet.
This is big, you guys, because canning is huge. Just take a look on the internet.
But it's not actually supported by the USDA. If you trust the goddamn government
In this country.
I think it's about speed, hot, nasty speed.
Hey, Mike.
Dave, where are you casting your rock into this ocean of power pressure?
Canning isn't for me.
I'd use a canning guy.
I didn't understand what the hell they were doing. Whatever this thing is, I don't want to put cans in it. I would can something, but it was totally weird. And they didn't even acknowledge the can grabber.
Yeah, I think it was cool.
Which didn't quite make sense to me, but I wish that was explained a little bit more, but they just went in there with it.
Do you want to know why they didn't explain it?
Got any berries?
They don't offer that.
That's some bullet.
Yeah.
You don't get one of those. So you figure out how to get your fucking cans out, you dumb shit. Go blow up your house. You're dumb.
My fryer is safe.
All right.
Canning is just
Sorry.
another, we're in add-on territory where you can just throw on something insane, whatever. Speed, yeah, okay.
I look okay.
Simplicity, sure.
That's not hard at all.
For me, it's capacity.
Huge.
The thing that I feel like I was most interested in when I was watching it was how massive the thing was. And I was like, I don't know if I ever want to cook 3 chickens in a power cooker.
I don't know how I could do this at home with any other machine.
But maybe I do now.
That's all I do.
So I'm going with capacity.
Do you want to cook enough lasagna to have it tonight, Wednesday, Sunday, and next week?
You're gonna have lasagna for tonight. You'll have it for Wednesday, next Sunday, and you could even freeze it and serve it next week.
That lasagna was
unbaked lasagna.
You guys were offended by that, right? As Italian American?
My family are Italians.
It was slop.
That was terrible. It was just cheese.
Yeah. I mean, how you even serve something like that is crazy. There's got to be just one giant noodle at the bottom.
Incredible, baby. Incredible.
That was weird. That was strange.
That was
decision.
bad. I was not excited about the look of that. I think that was the food product I was most disappointed in.
Oh, gosh.
Can I just throw it out there? All the pasta stuff is bad at this.
Yes, and that's a carrot juice flavor in there.
The other stuff is good when
Well,
it's
it
stews
should be meat,
and
right? Meat, soups, and stews.
meats.
That's what you use these for.
But the pasta stuff, without stirring,
Yeah.
without giving it any attention, which
Dump it in.
I think you do need to give. There's a process. Just out the damn window here.
Take that for
The
data.
Cowboys want the pasta,
Yeah.
man.
Butterboy is coming to
It's
town.
at Old Country Buffet.
Have you tried the lasagna?
That looked like Old Country Buffet mac and cheese. That's what that looked like.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, you're damn right.
On the point of, I think, the speed and the pasta being in question, do you think if you made homemade pasta in the Popeil automatic pasta maker
Well, I said it was going to take under 3 minutes.
and then cooked it in the Power Pressure XL,
You pound it with flavor.
do you think you could time travel?
Well, it's a DeLorean.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan does that every time he makes a meal. Yeah,
Feel this progression further and further back in time.
Good pickup.
at least they don't make noise.
Can we turn off the machines?
I wish it did. We're a bunch of speed boys. I also had some honorable mentions in there. The fact that it could be a slow cooker because no shit.
A slow cooker feature.
The delay timer.
Delay timer.
I never liked delay timers. I remember my mom would be like, "Oh, I'm going to cook it on time bake." Like she would do it. She'd set the oven and then disappear.
Just
I don't don't like having cooking things on or programmed to turn on when I'm not home.
Yeah, no doubt.
Are you serious?
Safety was on the initial list.
Safely and efficiently.
And then I read about the 200 plus lawsuits that are currently pending against the Power Pressure Cooker XL for the dangerous situations it puts people in, and thought that that would not be prudent.
This is one of the most popular pressure cookers on the market, and lawsuits allege that people have been badly injured using it.
So, congratulations to Hot Nasty Speed.
So it's not just a time saver.
10 times faster.
The Power Pressure Cooker is fast.
That you can cook meats 80% faster.
And something that's fairly fast.
So it's not just a time saver.
Fraction of the time.
You can cook things really fast in the Power Pressure Cooker.
The nominees for Best Testimonial. So, unfortunately, since the gorillas did not say anything other than it was incredible or that they were hungry or, yeah, brother.
Yeah, that all sounds great. Now let's get to the food.
They are not eligible. So, Dave, I'm sorry to take your boys off the board up front, but we can still talk about them as much as you want. They're just not eligible to take home the running for Best Testimonial. We're going with, and also just to be clear, nobody from, well, one person from the market.
That is very sneaky.
Nobody who is only in the market will be eligible. So we'll start with our nominees in the order of appearance. First is Denise Wilson, a.k.a. the other Denise.
My name is Denise Wilson.
Denise has 6 kids.
We have 6 kids.
And has to cook for them.
They're eating all the time.
And if she didn't have the Power Pressure Cooker XL, she would have to cook for them all the time.
I would be constantly cooking, but because of the Power Pressure Cooker, I don't have to do that.
And she can't do that. But now that she has the Power Pressure Cooker XL, it's the only thing she cooks with.
That's the only thing we've been using. So I haven't cooked with it any other way right now.
Okay.
That's all I do.
That's all I do.
It's all she cooks with. Her husband can even use it, which is nice. My husband's not going to believe I bought this.
Oh, it's wonderful. And I'm not a cook. Wait till my husband finds out I'm going to buy this machine.
That's the Wilson family. Chris S. Wow. Is just a Will Forte character doing a bad dating ad who loves his pasta.
Pasta.
Great for him.
Fairly fast.
And M, a.k.a. Streganona, who feels like Franca Paganucci, who's aged too much.
Multiple.
She had a great time.
Everybody was happy.
And last, but certainly not least, from Eric's home state, Elizabeth J. from New Jersey. Oh!
I was really excited about getting the Power Pressure Cooker.
Dave?
Was Chris the one that was eating alone?
Remember Barry Ozer?
So for me, it's between Chris S. and the other Denise. What I liked about the other Denise was that there wasn't like husband and wife shaming in this one. Did you guys notice that? They were
Married to my husband, Vincent.
supportive in her bit where they were like, yeah, my husband, you know, he might cook with this or like stuff like that. I was like, all right.
Weren't they separate? Were they in the same shot?
Yes.
They were at dinner together, but
okay.
She gave the proper testimonial, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't call fraud on this.
Yeah,
one.
he's
Okay,
not a
good.
cook, but he thought it was amazing
I did it with my own 2 hands. I can't believe this. I'm telling
because he
you.
put a whole bunch of chicken in.
He took a whole bunch of chicken that we had, and it was frozen, and then pushed a button, and it came out perfectly, and all the kids ate it.
And now they have an exclusive rights deal for all of the Wilson cooking for the Power Pressure Cooker.
And that's the only thing we've been using.
But out of pure humor, Streganot, that was good.
Pressure Cooker XL is part of my family.
Elizabeth J, good.
Capacity is phenomenal.
I'm gonna pick Chris because just following the craziness of these infomercials is the fact that they were like, you know what we should get is just not a single guy.
No, alone.
Not a guy that is like this handsome bachelor.
This season of The Bachelor.
Not even a divorcee, like a jolly divorcee, right? Like, you know, my wife and I got separated. You can do that. You could convince people that that's a thing. Chris S. is just lonely and it's not acknowledged and he's making pasta by himself. So Chris S., you know, you get the Surreal Award and Best Testimonial for me.
It's also weird that he has a wardrobe change.
A useless wardrobe.
During his testimonial. He's wearing his
I didn't
button
notice
down.
that.
And then when he cuts to the flashback to him making his pasta,
Pasta.
he has his sweater on. You keep saying pasta?
Yes. That's a horrible pronunciation you have.
His recipe doesn't match what he does on the screen either.
Put in garlic, you put in your olive oil, you put in your stewed tomatoes, a little basil, you can add your pasta to it.
Poor Chris. He's looking for an easy-to-make meal with minimal ingredients.
What I'm looking for is an easy-to-make meal, not a lot of ingredients.
Ingredients.
That's fast. And he was surprised in the PPC XL. It's a stovetop and an oven all in one. I was like, oh man.
And the ease in which it acted as a stovetop and an oven all
Would
in
you
one.
take Chris, Dan?
Well, I definitely rewatched Chris's segment more than anyone else by a very wide margin.
10 times.
Which is usually what I go by. And the thing that stuck with me was he's in a set apartment. It's not his apartment, which is weirder because I don't know where he lives. The door looks like shit.
A door handle punched a hole in the drywall.
For me, I can't help but worry about Chris.
That's unfortunate because now you've stacked the deck against me.
We've had underdog winners before. We've done that. We've had overrules.
Chris had way too many tomatoes on his counter and without using them, which really offended me. I was like, dude, just you could make a better sauce. Just put more tomatoes in it. So.
And now I'm going to show you how to make my clam sauce. Can we turn off the machines?
Put sauce in there. He didn't mention it was in a mason jar. So I'm like, well, did he make that in Canada? I want to talk about that, Chris. Like, what do you do with all your time alone?
He's lonely. He likes to be surrounded by tomatoes.
He had beautiful tomatoes.
You don't have to be lonely. TomatoesOnly.com.
They're all bad. I'm going to go with an ironic pick here again. Elizabeth J. Family of 5. Dinner table, only 4 people. So, is the fifth still with us?
That's a fantastic question.
It was Chris.
Fresh homemade pasta.
Yeah,
I always set a place for Chris and hope he'll come back. Chris, come home.
Yeah, how are we out of tomatoes? Did Chris take all the tomatoes?
All the tomatoes are gone.
They're my friends.
You put in your stewed tomatoes.
You're reared in truth. But can we just talk about Stregonona a little bit? I don't understand why they have to have somebody who, it felt like she wouldn't want to use this. I feel like I don't know. I know my grandmother, who is 90 and killing it, who
What are you, a fucking owl?
doesn't want to change one thing about anything, especially in her kitchen.
Any job in the kitchen.
And she's always making things the same way she's done them for the last 70 years.
64.
That's not the demographic who's looking for the hip new cooking product.
Sorry to say, Graham.
I also love that they left in her closing line of, everyone can try and be happy. More very, very happy.
Everybody can try and be happy. More very, very happy.
Poor Anna.
Well, you know what they did in this one is they called out grandmas immediately.
My grandma
in this infomercial. It was like, oh, your grandma's recipe. We'll do it in a fraction of a time.
Take grandma's favorite recipes and turn them into everyday family meals.
It was almost like you're discounting the best food you've ever had because it was built with love.
I love this kind of
Created
chicken.
with love. And
That's mac and cheese made with love.
you're almost like calling grandmas assholes here.
You can make grandma stew.
And then you bring on this grandma who might look like your grandma.
My grandmom's meatballs.
Wow.
And she's also saying, yeah, your way of doing this is dumb and we could do it a lot quicker. I get it. That's how you sell a product, but
for roast,
quit shitting on grandmas, please.
Yeah, they do it a lot.
I don't want a high pressure device in my grandmother's home because she's 90 and lives alone. Like, that's really dangerous. That's stupid.
Are you stupid or something?
You also don't want your grandparents pushing too many buttons.
State-of-the-art kitchen
If
science.
you ever remember on your dad's side, Italian side,
Oh, forget about
your grandmother using a pressure cooker.
It's a lot of meatballs.
That is
Oh
a lot
God,
of
no.
No.
I don't either.
No. Everything in the oven or on the stovetop.
Acted as a stovetop and an oven all in one.
That's part of it. We talked about this with Poe Peel also, right? Where there's like a cultural aspect of like the day of cooking. Like it's Sunday, it's macaroni and gravy at grandma's house. Again, this is awesome.
Big, good-looking paisano.
It's like a whole event, and that's the part of it. And she's like, Mom, they want to wait, cook all day on stove. No, I don't know why she's Russian.
She's a spy.
But you know, she's making a beef stew, and that was the big thing. She's like, don't want to eat only does Vidania beef stew. Like, wait a minute, what happened there?
This is my cousin Giorgio from Italy.
Stroganoff?
Beef stroganoff.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The only thing that I kind of believed is that she wanted a way to can stuff.
I like the power of pressure cooker for canning because it's very convenient. Tomato, especially the tomato. We do so much tomato.
I was like, all right, Grand wants to can, go get it. But also, too dangerous. Poor Stroganoff.
Very safe machine.
And I guess one other point on our winner, Chris. Congratulations, Chris, first of all.
It certainly makes my cooking experience more enjoyable.
One of the point is he also cares about the cleanup.
And it saves a lot of time, hassle, and mess. And that's important to me.
Obviously. He's got a lot of shit to do, so he's not going to sit there scrubbing pots and pans. And they show that, like, the inside bowl can go in the dishwasher.
Just drop the removable insert into the dishwasher.
But cleaning those lids is a bitch.
Cleanup is a breeze.
And there's no good way to do it, and it's always dirty.
Okay.
And I hope Chris is sanitizing properly. But he's our winner, so he can do whatever he wants, right?
Yeah.
Chris S., all the best to you. Congratulations.
It's really hard, so pay attention.
What I'm looking for is an easy-to-make meal.
Or a woman.
Not a lot of ingredients.
Ingredients.
Put in garlic.
Stinky, nasty garlic.
You put in your olive oil.
Take a little olive oil.
You put in your stewed tomatoes.
He's lonely. He likes to be surrounded by tomatoes.
And 10, 15 minutes later, we have fresh homemade pasta.
Fresh homemade pasta. Fresh homemade pasta.
Incredible, baby. Incredible.
We move to best recipe from grandma. So there, as we mentioned, are a lot of grandma references in here.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Granny.
This isn't your grandma's pressure cooker.
Take grandma's favorite recipe.
Your grandma's recipe is shit compared to how we can do it now.
Sorry to say, Graham.
Your grandma can't read or write.
Sure. Have us over for a nice family meal, and there's no food in sight.
And then, as we got right out of the box in the opening VO, he talks about the recipes that grandma makes in half the time and blah. And those recipes are hearty pot roast with all the fixins.
Hearty pot roast with all the fixins.
Fall off the bone short ribs.
Fall off the bone short ribs.
Chicken wings from rock hard frozen to steaming hot.
Chicken wings going from rock hard frozen to steaming hot.
Because grandmas and frozen chicken wings is a centuries-old story.
My grandma, do they
I
like chicken?
love this kind of chicken.
Tender shredded pulled pork cooked to perfection.
A tender shredded pulled pork cooked to perfection.
Or a mountain of mouth-watering meatballs.
That's a lot of meatballs.
That is a lot of meat.
Dave?
I'm kind of interested in all of them,
Sure.
but the one short rib should be in an oven.
Put them in the basket.
I think. Pot roast oven.
What you do is go to the microwave oven.
This is actually like having an oven and a stovetop in one.
Acted as a stovetop and an oven all in one.
It's the Power Pressure Cooker XL. It's actually really interesting.
Incredible, baby.
So
Incredible.
it uses high pressure and heat.
Introducing the Power Pressure Cooker XL.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I mean, like, what you're more likely to actually cook in one of these things? A pot roast? Probably not.
Right?
Nobody eats like that. Nobody.
Short ribs? I don't think so.
Are we early or something?
Pulled pork? Sure.
Sure.
Meatballs? Definitely.
My grandmom's meatballs.
Wow.
For me, it's up between meatballs
Buongiorno.
and the frozen chicken wings.
4 pounds of fried chicken.
And you guys might not expect this, but I'm going to go with the frozen chicken wings.
Any chance of getting a real breakfast?
Because it's just weird enough that it might work.
Can you see that working?
That might be the easiest thing that you could do,
That's all I
is
do.
just put frozen chicken wings in one of these things, dump the sauce on it,
Dump it
and
in.
let it go for 8 hours.
But these are frozen though.
See how it comes back for the boys.
Eat up, guys. Tell me how good that is.
8 minutes from frozen to the gorillas.
Are you serious?
I see the logic there.
It's really hard, so pay attention.
When they are going through the shitload of wings on the set with Eric and Denise, and they're ready to feed the gorillas the wings and the ribs.
The baby back ribs.
She actually says for the Super Bowl.
This right here is saying Super Bowl Sunday, buddy.
I was like, whoa, did they license that? Are we going to hear for that? I was just surprised that she said that. Because usually it's the big game.
This is what I do just before the big game.
And on game day, football, baseball, basketball, or
I wasn't
soccer.
pumped about the wings. Mark, what was your favorite?
Oh, my favorite.
So I think with the meatballs, it's interesting. I think it's great for meatballs
It's a lot of meatballs.
That is a
when
lot
they're
of
like store-bought, pre-made already. If you're making your own meatballs, you're putting those in the oven.
Acted as a stovetop and an oven all in one.
You're putting those in a saucepan. You're going to be so. I think if we're leveling the playing field, it's like frozen meatballs, frozen chicken. But here's the thing: the pork, from experience,
Hello.
Look at that.
you do some great pulled pork in this.
Pulled pork, pulled chicken? Yeah.
Yeah, pulled chicken is amazing.
Amazing.
So I would say you go there because you can actually get good pulled pork, good pulled chicken, and this is the right way of doing it.
As simple as that.
I agree. The thing that I would be most likely to eat and enjoy out of there is absolutely pulled pork.
That is awesome.
If I had 3 homeless men eating in my house, I would make frozen wing.
You guys?
If I ever wanted to make a pot roast, I wouldn't mind throwing it in there because it's all kind of the same shit anyways. And you could use a really shitty cut of meat too, which would be very exciting to feed my wife and children.
One of the least expensive meats you can buy.
But I think for me, the winner is going to have to be the frozen meatballs that are cooked by Eric because he burns his own grandma talking about it.
I'm sorry to say, Graham.
He throws her right under the bus, says her recipe is shit compared to his because he can do it in half the time.
My grandmom's meatballs.
Yeah, leave grandmas alone. Hey, if there's nothing else we accomplish here on Call Now, it's our pro Silver Fox stance. Get 'em, Granny.
My grandmom's meatballs. Wow. My grandma, she used to toil in the kitchen for hours to make these. I cooked them in 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Under pressure. Look at the results that I got. I had 100 meatballs in here. Oh, look at that.
That's a lot of meatballs.
That is a lot of meatballs. And you know what? Sorry to say, Graham, I cooked them under pressure and they actually taste better.
All right, our final Ronnie category. Best question in the market. So Eric goes to the market and there are a handful of people there. He's asked 4 direct questions from the crowd. They are not fonted, so I've done my best. First is Rick from Storage Wars, and he leads off with, so what type of beef is best for the stews?
So what type of beef is best for the stews?
The shittiest beef. Fuck you. The worst beef. Just whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all just gonna taste like soup.
Pound the meat with flavor.
The person who I just wrote down, the lady.
Or a woman.
Does it keep all the same nutrients in the food?
Does it keep all the same nutrients in the food?
Sure. Yeah. Same fucking food. What do you think? No, it sucks them all out and it dumps them in the back alley with the shit meat. Fuck you. Next.
It's all natural. It's very healthful.
There's an unseen woman. The shot stays on Eric, and she asks, "Can you ever overcook?"
You ever overcook?
And the final question is actually from Eric before he starts scooping out his shit meat to these poor, unwilling participants. Everybody likes stew?
Everybody likes stew?
So, Mark it. Marker.
I had one that we covered and it wasn't a part of this. Do you want me to stay on track?
I want you to follow your heart and your dreams. We'll be right there with you.
It's called Asa what?
Asa what?
And this is called Asa what?
Asabuco.
Nobody knows what this is.
Oh, it's Asabuco, yeah.
Asabuco. That is definitely the best question in the whole infomercial. Absolutely. That skunks everything that happens in the market in this forced, weird situation.
Because it doesn't help the product at all. It's like, that's all it does.
That's all I do.
Just push forward the narrative of there are some exotic foods you can make in this thing.
What's more exotic, Asabuco or Cajun linguine?
Cajun linguine.
That's a good question.
There's spinach juice in it? Yes or no?
We're making spinach linguine.
What do you got, Mark?
No, I mean, that would be mine, but
it was too good to be encumbered by the market segment.
Incredible, baby. Incredible.
Dave, what was your favorite question?
This one's good because it shows you how not creative.
Be creative.
This infomercial is. Because the leading questions are ridiculous.
I hate this sauce.
So what type of beef is best for the stews?
Buying less expensive cuts of meat.
You know, like in script writing and stuff, they have like conversations are supposed to be like a tennis match.
One of you mugs got a light.
You know, you don't just give somebody on a platter what you want them to say, which is what they're doing. Like
infomercials you do.
You guys, you want to look like Randy?
In infomercials you do.
How many people in my audience have vegetable juice extractors at home?
But it's still, you know, it makes it even more hilarious that every question is just the setup to what Eric needs to explain.
It's really hard, so pay attention.
Not what really is the best thing for the product or what would explain the product best, just like what Eric's got going on in his head. So he's like, well, it's the beef for the stews. Well, we got to have the nutrients. We don't want to overcook any of this stuff. It's just this random bullet list.
That's some bullet.
Which is great. My favorite of all of them is, can you ever overcook?
The answer is yes.
It's like a philosophy question.
Yeah, right.
Can you ever overdo it? He's like, no. I mean, the answer is, and he's skittish.
Well, you know, that's an interesting question.
I think he doesn't quite know how to answer it because he realizes how stupid the question is in the first place. But then he settles on, no, you can't.
Yeah,
but,
it's also kind of like a a little bit of a gotcha question. He has to be careful. I mean, he's named in a lot of the lawsuits.
An investigation into allegations that pressure cookers may be putting some people in harm's way.
Because of what he promises from a safety perspective.
Hold the blue safety handles.
There's no safer way to cook. It's like, oh yeah, well this gave me a first-degree burn.
My mom didn't recognize me.
It's definitely not the safest way to cook. He kind of falls back on the, he's like, well, it depends on how you pre-program it. It has an automatic shut-off.
Because we pre-programmed all the buttons for you, you don't have to worry about it. The other great thing is that it literally turns off by itself. So no, you can't overcook. If you put the right time in, or you use one of our pre-programmed times, it's impossible to overcook your food.
You can absolutely overcook things. It's actually, especially if you're 95 years old and you got those jittery sausage paws.
You'll love making homemade sausages.
You're almost certainly going to overcook a lot of things because you're just mashing all the goddamn buttons. I don't know why they left that in.
Dump it in.
Can you ever overcook it? Of course you can, but we make it so much easier.
Yeah, he should have been honest, right?
Right? Like there's so many other ways.
He should have been like, well, of course, hey, nothing is human.
The answer to answer to anything overcooked related should just be, but look how many buttons there are.
Push the button down to extrude.
You know what I mean? But look at the buttons, you know, that would have been better.
State-of-the-art kitchen
I
science.
will go with this one too, because it's just our first time we've all been on the same page.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, we'll have Tim check the tape and let us know.
Well,
Yeah.
Dan hasn't officially said.
Okay. Well, here's my big thing here too is it always talks about replacing a rice cooker as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you could replace your rice cooker.
Because rice is tough sometimes.
Rice is tough. You know, I'm glad you said that.
Rice isn't something you just mix in with everything. Rice is something you put things on top of. It requires its own consistency. You do not want to put this in with a fish, a chicken, something like that.
The Power Pressure Cookbook.
One of those things are going to overcook.
You cannot make any mistakes with this machine.
Can't make any mistakes with this
You
machine.
can if you set it to some bogus level. But yeah, so I got to go with that. And
Ever overcook?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, you can't overcook it, but you can overcook it. Congratulations.
You ever overcook?
Well, you know, that's an interesting question. Because we pre-programmed all the buttons for you, you don't have to worry about it. The other great thing is that it literally turns off by itself. So no, you can't overcook. If you put the right time in, or you use one of our pre-programmed times, it's impossible to overcook your food. Who wants to try some?
Wow, that's an exasperating Ronnie's, but I do feel like a little bit of the pressure's off now and be a little bit looser. Got pounded a little bit there.
Pound it with flavor.
Feel very well infused.
You power cook it. You infuse it with flavor.
I don't know how we got out of the market segment without talking about the yum yum face, but
if you can't get a yum yum face like that,
that's okay. I think we're gonna be okay here because we tiptoed around it. We've mentioned them a few times. We need to spend the requisite amount of time on the gorillas.
to feed the hungriest gorillas in your house.
Well, is it in like the last 10 seconds?
It's the last line of the infomercial.
And what does he say exactly?
It's all you need to feed the hungriest gorillas in your house.
It's all you need to feed the hungriest gorillas in your house.
And then the slow pan to the three guys, and the last word before the call now rollout is, "This is incredible."
This is
I was
incredible.
like, the ghost of Terry Scott is with us today.
This third chicken is incredible.
3 whole chickens in there.
I'm just gonna do one more of these chickens real quick.
I'm gonna do a couple more. Chickens real quick.
Why do you call them gorillas? Mark, everything you said to describe them at the beginning would have been a better thing to say than gorillas.
These are the boys that choke down chili. These are the pasta boys,
And they eat pasta every day.
butter boys,
Bring in your free butter boy pass.
whatever you want to call them.
But it's gonna be weird anyway because they don't acknowledge who they are.
I'm Rumpelbill's daughter, Lauren.
Anything you say to acknowledge the three guys in the back is just always gonna be weird because it's a crazy decision.
Is that crazy?
It is the Hazel.
Dinner's always a production.
Here are 3 random large men.
but we're talking about it. We're giving it a special section.
I've never had bread that moist before.
So it's incredible. They're almost like in their own little, like shit boy saloon back there. Did you notice that? It's like
Yeah.
it's like their own little bar, their own little reality.
Little booth.
There should have been little doors, and that's why I was like, I'm surprised they didn't break anything and start like pulling knives on each other. And
I actually heard they're going to do a flashback season of Westworld and it takes place in the Shit Boy Saloon.
You boys are new. Not much of a rind on you.
That was the first place before it was La Mariposa. It was the Shit Boy Saloon. So that's going to be a great one.
I love the entire thing about it. It brings up like the food just really resonates with me on this one. It's like if I'm at my worst,
Yeah.
all the things he just made is what I'm eating
Big county fair
by myself.
My mom didn't recognize me.
With my two other buds in the
I'm
kitchen.
joined as always by my co-host on this 3-man weave known as Call Now.
I just
like-
got to go to town, and like that's exactly.
Yeah, or when
what
you
they're
break
doing.
into somebody's house with 2 of your friends and you force them to cook you giant meals very quickly.
Everybody be cool. This is a
That's what you would force
Yeah.
them to cook you too.
Yeah, I want a low country boil.
Low country
And
boil.
5 lobsters. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3.
How many's out? 1.
1, 2.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Wet lobster. He should have just cracked it open like the chicken and pork and been like, look at how wet it is, just to do it. Yeah.
Are you serious?
That's not hard at all.
In our kitchen, when we want to pound flavor into things,
Pound the meat with flavor.
we don't use a power pressure cooker XL.
Okay.
We use an Instant Pot.
Sure.
That was given to us as a gift. It's been used probably 6 times,
No, not 6. I said 7.
all for pulled meats.
Meats, fish and vegetables, beans, rice, soups, or stews.
You know what? Each time, it's fine.
I don't care.
I have used it more.
So you're going to leave it on your counter and you're going to want it there because you're going to use it every single day.
Pulled meats, definitely the highlight of it.
Now, Lynn, are you trying to pull something?
Have done a boil in it multiple times.
I've been a rich man.
Crawfish,
balls.
andouille sausage,
Fresh salmon sausages.
shrimp,
Coconut shrimp.
corn, potatoes, Old Bay seasoning. It's very good.
Well, that's good.
That's the fun part. That's like a day. It's like, dude, we're doing a boil. Like, come over, bring
It is,
everybody,
yep.
bring
Yeah.
some beers. It's
Right.
gonna be a beautiful day. We're doing.
Taking a little brewski, holding on a beautiful babe, and I'm fine today.
We're gonna get there at 11:30 when they light it. We'll start drinking and playing cornhole. I'll bring mac and cheese. It's gonna be a great day.
It's the rolling of the pasta. It's yourself by hand. It's the making the meatballs by yourself by hand. It's that.
That's mac and cheese made with love.
How about chicken?
So it's kind of dummy proof.
Is that crazy good?
Yeah. You know, when we started this, I was going to go with, I would definitely get one of these. And I don't know, after talking about it, we have a crock-pot slow cooker. I just can't crack the things, man. I mean, like, I don't want to start something in the morning and have it be done at night.
Are you serious?
Shit is always overcooked.
Ever overcooked?
When I do it, I'm not crazy about the recipes.
The Power Pressure
I
Cookbook.
like to do a little cook in the Dutch oven, finish it off with a bake.
Acted as a stovetop and an oven all
You
in
know,
one.
2 to 3 hours cooking if I'm doing something crazy.
Is that crazy good?
Don't really want one of these things. I don't really need one of these things. I can make rice
Wow.
with boiled water.
Whoa.
Sorry, Eric.
Whoa. Wow. That's.
Yeah.
You don't want to make 6 quarts of shit lasagna full of
Mm-hmm.
way too much fucking cheese and soggy floppy noodles.
You're gonna have lasagna for tonight. You'll have it for Wednesday, next Sunday, and you know, you could even freeze it and serve it next week.
Tough sledding.
Yeah.
So, guys, anything else before we go? Are we good? Did we pound it enough?
I think we pounded it with flavor, yeah.
Thank you all for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, or follow on your preferred podcast medium. And for all things Call Now, visit callnowpodcast.com. And if you want to connect with the boys, you can find them at Call Now Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, or send them an email at callnowpodcast@gmail.com. And if you can't fight the urge to pick up the phone and call now, you can leave them a voice message at 617-356-7439. And if you call in the next 30 minutes, you might just be the next star of Call Now. Thanks again for listening, and we hope you tune in next time to Call Now.
Thank you for listening. This has been a B+ effort. We'll try harder next time.